That is to say, knowledge politics is about attempts to channel the social role of knowledge, to generate rules and enforce sanctions pertaining to relevant actors and organizations, to affix certain attributes to knowledge, and likely the most controversial strategy, to generally restrict the application of new knowledge and technical artifacts. So the essence of knowledge politics, as I see it, consists of strategic efforts to move the social control of new scientific and technical knowledge, and thereby the future, into the center of cultural, economic, and the political matrix of society. Knowledge politics need not be inherently prohibitive. The governance of knowledge, in the general sense of attempts to control it, and not merely through statutory enactments and administrative regulations and decisions, knowledge politics also extends to efforts designed to enhance and enlarge the options and opportunities for the use of new knowledge in society. So the tempo with which knowledge evolves may be a further reason why specific attempts to regulate knowledge may become obsolete, and may become obsolete quickly. Regulative politics is simply surpassed by the dynamics of knowledge. Similarly, the speed with which new capacities for action are generated, and the difficulties, if not the impossibility, of anticipating exactly what future capacities might be produced in science, only enhance, we should have no illusion, the many practical difficulties knowledge politics surely entail. So in addition to a fundamental change in our attitudes toward the growth of science and technology, there are changing relations between science, the scientific community, scientists as experts, society, and the public, responsible for the legitimacy for the emergence of knowledge politics. Scientists, that is, no longer automatically inspire trust. On the contrary, we believe less in experts, although we employ experts more and more. Yet without some element of trust exhibited by ordinary members of society toward experts, expertise would vanish. So the boundaries between science and society, I'm arguing, have become less definite, and the channels of influence on science, or as some might see it, the economic and political levers of intervention in scientific affairs, have become much more evident, but also much more legitimate. All of this, in retrospect, more firmly than ever, signals the end of a golden age of science and technology, in which science served as a symbol of secular progress and civilizational advance, and enjoyed enormous freedom and authority and autonomy of inquiry. But I'm convinced we are moving from an era in which things, in the eyes of most people, simply happened, to an era, it will take some time, to a social world in which more and more things are made to happen. So advanced society may therefore be described as a knowledge-based society because of the penetration of all of its spheres by scientific and technical knowledge. In knowledge societies, the individual's capacity of doing and being whatever she or he desires is considerably enlarged. So the concern, if you like, is no longer, as was the case until recently, that we are amassing a large store of trivial and practically irrelevant knowledge at a high price that promises no useful gain. This fear has been replaced by concerns about the accumulation of novel knowledge that appears to have questionable social consequences. So the problem, if I may put it perhaps even more precisely, the problem is not that we do not know enough. The problem is that we know too much. So the politics of regulating new knowledge and novel technical devices is bound to upset the established line of political conflicts, and in many instances may well create strange political bedfellows in the form of novel and quickly changing political coalitions and alliances. Central emotionally and politically charged debates in modern society about the authority of science, of medicine, or of experts, but also about politics and the control of the body, the desirable relations between nature and society, the meaning of technology and human agency, or the linkages between ethics and knowledge, will be not only symbolically recast and heavily strained, they will be reinvented. Knowledge politics will be a undoubtedly strongly contested form of regulative politics. But that there will be knowledge politics is a certainty. However, we should not have any excessive hopes that our ability to anticipate the social impact of new capacities to act will be very impressive. Similarly, knowledge politics will be enacted even though our ability to forecast the consequences of government intervention in systems other than the political system is quite limited. Similarly, knowledge politics will have to contest and reckon with globalization, the loss of sovereignty of the nation state, and conflicts that are bound to arise between national and transnational knowledge policies. I conclude, on the positive ledger of the emergence of knowledge politics in modern democratic societies, and the now constant and controversial public debates about the consequences of new scientific knowledge and technical artifacts, and of course, calls for their regulation and administration, could well be an expansion of the public sphere in modern society. That is to say, the organization of the public sphere is changing. Participatory demands and contributions to the regulation of knowledge are bound to become more routine. And more generally, we will see a significant increase in the transformation of the political culture and the realignment of major social institutions of modern society as a result of the emergence of knowledge politics. Now, to conclude, whether we need a new social contract for science, as Jerome Ravitz argues, whether such a new social contract for science is possible or even desirable, the future will have to decide. Thank you.